Morning. Welcome to 10 a.m. yoga here on Tuesday, September 1st. My name is Stephanie. Thank you for joining me and the YMCA of York. All you need for your practice again this morning is your yoga mat, and always optional for you to have water or a yoga block with you. I don't have one today, but you can always get props involved, yoga blocks or chairs, anything like that to help you practice. So let's go ahead and get on our mats. We're going to begin on our backs this morning in what's called Supta Konasana, and that's where we lie on our backs and the soles of our feet come together and your knees go out wide. So we're just going to take a few minutes here and get connected to our breath and transition from whatever we were doing before we got on our mats to get into our yoga practice this morning. So go ahead and lie back. Again, bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. An option here for placing a hand on your heart and a hand on your belly. And if you feel so inclined to close your eyes, go ahead and do that as well. As we integrate and transition to our practice this morning, just focus on your breath and focus on letting go of the things you were doing before you got on your mat this morning and not thinking about the things you need to do after practice today. So again, we're lying on our backs. If you're just joining us in Supta Konasana, soles of the feet come together, knees out wide, connecting to our breath. Together, take a big, deep breath in, fill up, feel your belly expand. Open your mouth, empty, maybe even sigh. Do that again, fill up, a big breath in. Open your mouth, empty out. Again, make some noise if you want. One more time. Fill up. Big breath in. Open your mouth, empty out. Just allow a natural rhythm of breath to come over your body now. Maybe breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Go ahead, if you have your eyes closed, begin to open them. And then begin to stretch your legs out long on your mat. And then stretch your arms up high overhead. And point your toes towards the bottom of your mat and really stretch your hands and fingers way past the top of your mat, maybe even arching your back a little bit. Big, full body stretch. Take a big, deep breath in here. Open your mouth, empty out. Another big breath in. Open up and empty out. Now from here, we're going to take a crescent shape. So we're going to move our feet towards the right corner of our mat, and then our hands and arms and top of our body towards the top right corner. So you're making a crescent shape with a C shape with your whole body. So you should really feel a nice stretch in the left side of your body here because we're leaning legs and feet and arms towards the right. Couple breaths here. And then begin to come back to center. Take another big stretch in the center, reaching fingertips overhead, pointing toes towards the bottom of your mat. And then on an exhale, begin to take legs and arms and torso towards the left. So you're making a C shape with the left side of your body. You should feel a right side stretch here. And again, you can continue to point your toes if that feels okay. You could actually interlace hands overhead. You could, left hand could take your right fingers to help pull that right arm up over your head. And a couple breaths here. One more inhale here. Exhale, come back to center. One more full body stretch, reaching arms overhead, pointing toes. Big breath in. Exhale, let that go. Okay, so begin to bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug here. Let your head and shoulders relax on the mat though, so you're just squeezing your knees in. And then let's begin to do some circles on our low back. So we're going to take our knees in some big circles in the air. My hands are on my knees. And it doesn't matter what direction you go first, but just draw some circles in the air with your knees. And you'll feel that nice massage on your low back. And then go the opposite direction. Take one more circle, and then we'll meet back together in the center, bringing your knees in towards your chest one more time. And then let's release our feet up to the sky. Take legs up the wall. If you have a strap and you want to put it around the bottom of your feet or a towel to be supported, you could actually do this up against the wall to also be a supportive posture. I also invite you, if you would like to take your arms up to the sky as well. And if you do that, really ground your shoulder blades down into the ground. Actively pressing them together, hugging your spine with your shoulder blades. So sometimes it's nice in the beginning of a practice to begin on your back and kind of be more restorative in the beginning of practice. I really like to do this, especially when it's raining outside like it is today. Maybe feeling a little more heavy with the rain. Just a couple more breaths here in waterfall pose or legs up the wall. And then let's grab the bottoms of our feet. Let's transition into happy baby. So grab the bottoms of your feet, either the outside or the insides of your feet. Maybe do the opposite of what you normally would do. And pull those knees into the outsides of your ribs. Really feel the full length of your spine grounded into your mat. So maybe a slight tuck of the tailbone towards the ground. You can rock side to side here, again, massaging your spine. Just gentle, doesn't have to be too rigorous of a rock back and forth, but it can be if you want it to be. And then come to stillness and pull your knees into your chest one more time. And then come up to seated. Maybe you can rock and roll, maybe not. Maybe you need to bring your hands to the ground and let the momentum of your legs bring you up. So we're in seated now. Feet are on the floor, knees are bent. Take your hands behind you for support. And we're going to drop our knees off to the right. Just stay here for a couple of breaths. I'm feeling a stretch in the underside of my left hip and glute. And then bring your knees back up to center, plant your feet on the floor, and then drop your knees off to the left. And then come up to center, and then just begin to go left and right. Just noticing how that feels. And then go one more round, left and right, and we'll meet again in center. And now I want you to take your feet off the edges of your mat, so take your feet wide. Feet are still planted on the floor, knees are bent, hands are behind you. And go ahead and drop your knees again off to the right, and then begin to twist your torso the same direction. So maybe this is enough right here. Maybe you come down to your forearms, or if you feel okay to rest your forehead on the ground and really stretch out long here. And then begin to walk your hands back close to your body. Unwind and come back to center and reset. Again, planting your feet on the outside edges of your mat. And then drop your knees off to the left. And then begin to take your torso the same direction, twisting over that left leg. One more breath here. Exhale, walk your hands back into center and come back to seated. I'm going to turn and face you. So sit in a comfortable pose, maybe crisscrossing your legs the opposite direction of what you normally would, just to see how that feels. I don't know if you've ever paid attention to the way that we default. Typically, I have my left leg in front. So sit up tall, really feel your tailbone rooted into the ground. And just keep bringing your attention and awareness to your body and your breath. We're going to inhale and reach our arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands back through center and push the energy down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands through prayer and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Let's twist to the right. So we're going to take our left hand to our right knee. And your right hand is back behind your hip, keeping your spine tall. And then go ahead and start to look over your right shoulder behind you. As you breathe in, your spine gets tall. As you breathe out, twist a little deeper. One more breath in. Breath out. Come back to center. Reset. Bring your palms back to your knees. And then we'll move the other direction. So right hand to left knee, left hand back behind you, press it into the mat to help keep your spine tall. And then begin to start looking over your left shoulder behind you, twisting. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, twist deeper. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Empty. And come back to center. Let's go ahead and stretch out our neck and shoulders a little bit. So inhale, take your right ear to your right shoulder. Exhale, come to center. And then inhale, left ear, left shoulder. And just keep flowing like that. As you exhale, chin comes down to center, and inhale, go to the other side. Let's take one more full round, right and left ear. And then we'll meet with our chin in center, exhaling and then inhaling back up. Nice. Good job. Let's come to our hands and knees now, tabletop position. Maybe if you have a blanket or something, if your knees bother you, you can always put that underneath of them. That can help take some pressure off. Or maybe double up your mat. Fold your mat over in hands and knees. So let's go ahead and move through some cat and cow. Beginning with cow pose, inhaling, drop the belly, head and tailbone go up to the sky. Exhale, empty out, belly comes in, head and tailbone drop. Flow through with your rhythm of breath, warming up the spine, warming up the belly. Just bring your attention and awareness to the tops of your feet, rooted into the mat behind you to help keep your hips square. Keep your elbows soft. One more breath in. Breath out. And then we'll meet in a neutral spine tabletop. So back is relatively flat here, crown of the head reaching out towards over the front of your mat. Let's turn our fingertips to face the outside edges of our mat, or if you can, all around, face them back towards your body, towards your knees. Let's do some wrist circles. So just rotate over top of the wrists. And then go the other direction. Pausing in any sticky spots you need to for a little longer. Honoring always any pain you're having. And then let's come to stillness. Let's take our fingertips back facing forward. So come back to tabletop. And we're going to take three-legged dog here in tabletop. So really stabilize your top of your left foot into the mat and stabilize your hands. And then inhale your right leg back behind you. If you can, lift it off the ground. Pulling the belly in. So we're really activating the core, the outside obliques here on the right side. Then bend your knee, rotate your hip open. Do some circles in the air. Again, keep your elbows soft. Keep breathing. And go the other direction with your circles, with your leg in the air. Loosening up the hip joint here. And then on an inhale, take your leg long behind you. Exhale, knee back down to the ground. Awesome. All right, other side. Inhale your left leg back behind you. If you can, lift it in the air. Flex the foot, so point those toes towards the ground. And then bend your knee, open your hip. Again, some circles in the air with your knee. Going both directions. And then on an inhale, take your leg long behind you. Exhale, knee to the floor. Awesome job. Just do a couple core exercises here this morning, warming up the abs. So do your best. If you can't lift your leg and your arm, that's totally fine. You can keep them on the ground. But if you're with me, inhale your right hand out in front of you, thumb to the sky. Left leg back behind you. Again, if you need to prop your foot or hand down, you can do that. Take a breath in. Breath out, elbow to knee, bring it in. Inhale, stretch out long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, elbow to knee, bring it in. One more time, inhale, stretch out. Exhale, return your hand and knee to the ground. Nice work. Other side. Left hand out in front, right leg back. And again, flex those toes, point to the ground, activate the belly. Try to keep the neck neutral, okay? Inhale. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, elbow to knee. One more time, inhale, stretch out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Stretch out one more time, breath in. And then return your hand and knee to the ground. Nice job. All right, let's press back into a downward facing dog. So before we do that, take a breath in, pull the belly in, tuck your toes, and then as you exhale, press your hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here, bending opposite knee. Really let your head be heavy here in down dog. Pressing your chest towards your thighs. Your gaze could go towards your belly button. That'll help you release your neck and shoulders. Keep your knees bent as much as you need to. Your heels are working towards the ground. Anytime you need to drop to knees, that's totally fine. Take a big, deep breath in. Come up on your toes, heels to the sky. Exhale, press your heels down. Inhale, come up on your toes. Exhale, press your heels down. One more time. Inhale, up on your toes. Exhale, press your heels down. Nice, and begin to walk your feet up to your hands. And we'll hang in a forward fold towards the front of our mat. Don't worry about if you can't touch your toes. Bend your knees a lot here. Maybe you bring a block under your hands if you can't reach the ground. Let your head be heavy. Option to make a box with your arms, grabbing opposite bicep or elbow. If you'd like, you could also interlace hands at your low back, letting your arms fall overhead gently. Big, deep breath in here. Empty out. Let your hands fall to the floor. Inhale, slowly roll up to standing. I'm just going to turn to face you. You can stay where you are. Awesome. And then take a big, deep breath in. Reach your arms overhead. Right hand to left wrist. Lean over to the right. Maybe look up underneath your left arm. Keep breathing. And then on an inhale, come back up to center. Left hand to right wrist. Lean to the left. And again, invitation here to look up underneath that right arm. Feel your feet rooted into the mat as you're stretching arms overhead. On a breath in, come back to center. Breath out, bring your hands to your heart and fold forward, bending your knees. Inhale, come up to halfway lift. Pull the belly in, activate the legs. You can bring hands to shins or thighs. And then as you exhale, fold forward. We'll begin our sun salutations. Inhale, rise up, reach arms overhead. This is a great way to start your morning too, right when you get out of bed. Exhale, fold forward, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up, reach, arms overhead. Maybe begin to do a back bend at the top. Exhale, fold forward, release. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up, reach arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, release. Inhale up, halfway lift. Pull that belly in, activate those legs. Exhale, fold forward, release. Inhale, rise up, reach arms overhead. Last time. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift. So now we're going to take it to our mat, to our chaturanga, but we're going to do it modified. So step your feet back. If you want to do regular chaturanga, you can, but I encourage you to drop your knees and then start to take your chin towards your mat and then begin to press forward to cobra pose. So your legs are on the ground, the tops of your feet on the ground, and your hands are pressing into the ground. Take a deep breath in here. And let's press back through tabletop, tuck the toes, and take down dog. Breath in, breath out. One more, inhale. Exhale, begin to walk your feet into your hands. Inhale up, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's connect all of that. Inhale, rise up, reach, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Let's take our chaturanga. Step back, come to your knees. And drop your chin, your chest, and then scoop up. Cobra pose. Take a breath in. As you exhale, tabletop, downward facing dog. Like a wave moving through the ocean. Breath in. Breath out. One more, inhale. Exhale. Walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Now we're getting the body warm. Inhale, halfway lift. Chaturanga. So step back, take your knees, come to your knees, lower down. Inhale, scoop up, cobra. Exhale, tabletop, downward facing dog. Breath in. Breath out. Walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach. Last time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And chaturanga. Step back. Knees, chin, chest, press forward, big breath in, cobra. Empty, tabletop, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. One more, breath in. Breath out. Step your feet up to your hands at the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's take chair pose. So I'm going to turn to face you again. Stay where you are. So feet are close together in this queen chair. If you can, reach arms overhead, biceps by your ears, but engage your shoulders down away from your ears. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, big breath in. Empty and fold forward. Let's take monkey pose. Peace fingers wrap around the big toes. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold deep. Again, bending your knees a lot here. And no worries if you can't touch your toes. So just relax here in this forward fold. Breathing. Maybe you need to catch your breath a little bit from those sun salutations. And you're doing awesome. Just the fact that you got on your mat today is an accomplishment. I struggle with that often. Let's release our toes. Let's come into goddess squat. So toes off the edges of your mat, 10 and 2 with their direction, and then let your hips sink down. If they can't come down low, then just prop your hands up on your thighs and make it a little bit of a high goddess squat. Otherwise, if your hips can sink down, bring your hands to your heart in prayer. Elbows come to the inner thighs. Keep breathing here. Let's do a twist here. Let's plant our right hand, left arm reaches up to the sky. Gaze could follow the hand, if that feels okay. Take another breath in. Breath out, come back through prayer. Left hand plants, right arm opens, twist. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center, and then plant your hands, take your hips to the sky, take a wide forward fold. And then start to wiggle your hips out left and right. You can even take your hands back and forth, tracing your mat from foot to foot. Awesome. Come to stillness. Good job. Toe heel your feet back under your hips. And if everybody isn't at the front of their mat or towards the front of their mat, then make your way there. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Reach, arms come overhead. Big stretch. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart in prayer. Inhale your left knee into your chest. And then just take a step back. We're going to take warrior one. So you could make it narrow. You could make it really lengthy here. Depends on how much you want to bend your front knee. So right toes, 12 o'clock, left toes out at 10. Nice bend in the front knee. Try to your best to square your hips to the front of your mat. And then when you're ready, reach your arms up to the sky. This is warrior one. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Let's flow a little here. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, sweep down and back behind you. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bow down. Keeping that front knee bent if you can. Inhale, come up. Exhale, reach down and back. And then this time when you arrive, let's take humble warrior. Interlacing hands at the low back. Press those hands towards the back of your mat and then start to bow your right shoulder towards your right knee. One more breath in. Breath out. Release your hands. Inhale, sweep up one more time. Exhale, hands to heart. And then as you inhale, step your left foot forward and reach your arms up to the sky. Come back to the front of your mat. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's reset here. Just take a couple breaths. And then inhale, reach arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart again. Inhale your right knee into your chest this time, and then step back and take your warrior one. So take your time setting it up. You should feel even between your front and your back foot. Your weight should feel even. And when you're ready, reach your arms up to the sky. Your gaze could follow your hands if you want. And together, let's flow. Take a big breath in. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, sweep down and back. Bowing over that front bent knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sweep down and back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sweep down and back. Now we're going to take that humble warrior, interlacing hands at the low back. Maybe you need a towel. That can also help if this doesn't feel comfortable. But if you can, bow with me. You're taking left shoulder to left knee. Take another breath in. Breath out, release your hands and arms, and inhale, reach back up to your warrior one. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Inhale, step your right foot forward to meet your left at the front of your mat. And let's hang out here in a Tadasana mountain pose with hands in prayer over our heart. And we're going to build a little bit on that, shifting into a warrior two. Inhale, reach arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Inhale, your left knee in. Exhale, step back. Warrior one. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And then as you exhale, we're going to open now warrior two. So I bring my hands through prayer and then slide my back foot over so I can open up to the left side of my mat. So shoulders, hips, square to the left side, arms out to a T. Let's do a little flow here. Flip both palms up to the sky. Inhale, straighten your front leg, reach arms overhead, let them meet overhead if they can. Exhale, bend back into your warrior two. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink in. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink into your warrior two. Now reverse. Reach that front arm forward. Inhale, take that front arm back overhead. Left arm can go down the back leg, behind the back in a half bind. Try to keep the front knee bent. Take another breath in. Breath out. Start to straighten that front leg. Let's come into triangle pose. So bring your arms up to a T. Inhale. Exhale, reach your right arm forward and down. Left arm to the sky. Triangle pose. Beautiful. Inhale, come up to stand. And then let's turn our right toes to face the left side of our mat. So we're here in a straddle stance. Bring your hands to your hips. Knees bent, like a nice bend in your knees. Inhale, take a little back bend. Exhale, fold over. Bring your hands under your shoulders when you fold. Bending your knees here as much as you need to. And let's walk our right hand over to our left foot or towards it, and then reach our left arm up to the sky for a twist. Couple breaths here. One more inhale. As you exhale, come back through center and then begin to walk your left hand over towards your right foot. Right arm opens to the sky, twist. Couple breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, unwind, beginning to bring your torso up, standing in that straddle stance again. Awesome. And then let's just turn to the back side of our mat. We're going to take our warrior one on this side. So go ahead and set it up, just facing the other direction. And then inhale your arms up to the sky when you're ready. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then we're going to open warrior two. So we're facing the same direction, but our left leg is bent now. Right toes towards the right side of your mat. Arms come to a T. Gaze out over that front hand in your warrior two. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Flip both palms up to the sky. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, straighten your front leg. Exhale, sink in. Inhale and come up. Exhale, sink in. One more, inhale, come up. Exhale, sink into your warrior two. Now take reverse warrior. Take another deep breath in. Breath out. Inhale, start to straighten your front leg. And then exhale. Inhale, come up to stand, arms to a T. Exhale, reach that left arm forward and down, triangle pose on this side. Right arm to the sky, your gaze could go up to your hand. Now here's where a block could come underneath of your bottom hand here. And then on an inhale, come back up to stand. So now let's take a high goddess squat. So keep the left toes towards that side of the mat, and then we're going to turn the right toes open. So we're opening the front side of the hips and the knees here. Take a nice deep bend in your knees. High goddess squat here, like a horse stance. Bring your hands to your thighs. Okay? Just stay here for a breath or two. Stabilize yourself. You may need to angle your feet in a little bit. That's totally fine. And then let's drop our right shoulder into the center and look over to the left. Come back to center. Let's drop our left shoulder into the center and look over to the right. One more breath in. Breath out. Come back to center. Begin to straighten your legs. Nice job. Let's toe heel our feet in to underneath of us. Let's come to a Tadasana mountain pose. Feet hip width distance or a little wider. Hands by your sides, palms could face forward. You could even bring hands to heart. Stand up really tall. And feel your feet rooted into the mat as the crown of your head reaches towards the sky. Maybe close your eyes here. Just give yourself some acknowledgement for what you've already accomplished in your practice. The space, new space that you've created. Not only in your body, but maybe in your mind and your heart. It's the first day of a new month. Fresh start. Begin to open your eyes. Let's take a couple balance poses now. So let's wiggle our bodies out a little bit. Shake that off. All right. Let's come into eagle pose. So I like to inhale and reach my arms up to the sky to begin, and then right arm comes underneath of left. Right leg will come up and over left. And then you can always tent your toes on the outside of that foot, your right toes. And you can always take opposite shoulder with your hands too to modify if it doesn't feel good taking palm to palm. But if you can, bring it into balance and sit down into that left hip. Engage the belly. You fall out, you come back in. Keep breathing. And keep your gaze at something still in front of you. Keep your focus. Take another deep breath in here. Breath out, unwind. And then inhale, reach up. Other side now. Left arm comes under, left leg over. And this side might feel completely different. I know everybody seems to have a dominant side in their balance, and that's totally fine. Be easy on yourself. Just keep trying and keep breathing. You can sit back into that right hip. Pulling everything into center. One more breath in. Empty, unwind, inhale, reach up. Nice. Exhale, bring your hands by your sides. Awesome job. Let's take dancer on the right. So I'm just going to face a direction for you to see me a little better. So dancer's pose on the right, palm outside, thumb to the back of your room or your mat, and then inside of your foot or ankle or shin. I like to flex my foot. And then to begin, bring your knees together, and then press your foot into that hand as you reach your left arm forward. Gaze out towards your hand, towards where you're dancing to. Maybe turn the corners of your mouth up as you dance. Again, if you fall out, come back in. Steady breath. One more, inhale. Exhale, release that side. Reset, and then let's move to the left. So, palm to the sky, thumb back behind you, inside the ankle, shin, foot if you can. Press into that hand as you lean forward. Right arm comes out in front of you for left side dancing. Try to keep a nice bend in that bottom leg. Bend in your knee. Keep breathing. Keep gazing out to where you're going. One more inhale. Exhale, come out. Awesome job. All right, final balance. Let's take tree pose. So it doesn't really matter which side you start on, but I'm going to begin with my right. So sole of the right foot could kickstand at your ankle. You could bring it up to your calf, or if you want to pull it all the way up to your inner thigh, totally fine. I like to begin with my hands in prayer at my heart, and then express my tree, maybe taking arms up and out like tree branches. The knee is going to work towards the back behind you to open up the front side of that hip. Keep breathing. Maybe you even gaze up to the sky. One more breath in. Breath out. Awesome job. Bring your hands back through prayer, knees centering down, as maybe a little more graceful than I just did it, but that's fine. And then get rooted into your other leg, sole of the other foot, ankle, calf, or thigh. And then express your tree, doing either the same thing you did on the other side, or maybe you take a bind behind your back, interlacing hands if you want. Again, left knee pressing, actively pressing towards the back behind you. Keep breathing. One more inhale. Exhale, release, come on out. Awesome job. Nice. Let's come to our knees. Let's take camel pose. So let's begin actually in half camel. So let your hips come down to your heels. So sit up in a hero's pose. You can bring hands to your thighs here at first. Really sit up tall. And then for half camel, you're going to plant your hands behind you. Fingertips face towards the front of you. And then you're going to bring your hips off of your heels as much as you can. Maybe your knees need to go wider for this. That's totally fine. And then let your head drop back, if that feels okay. Elbows are soft. One more breath in. Breath out. Bring your chin to your chest. Let your hips, settle back down. And then inhale, come up to hero's pose again. Nice job. All right, a couple more heart openers. We're going to make our way to our bellies. on our mats. So stretch out long. Let your forehead at first come to your mat. Reach your arms by your sides, fingertips towards your feet, palms face the ground or your mat. Bring everything into center together. So your ankles and feet come together, inner thighs come together. We're going to come up for locust pose. So bring your head, shoulders, chest, arms, and then legs. And just gaze out towards the top of your mat or just in front of your mat to help keep your neck neutral. Keep breathing. Keep actively squeezing everything into center. One more breath in. Breath out. Come on down. Nice job. You can bend your knees and let your feet go back and forth. Shake that out. And we're going to do one more locust pose. You can do the locust again like we just did, or maybe if you want to bind at your low back for bound locust, interlacing hands. And then come up. Again, pulling everything into center, your legs, your feet. Maybe even pull your belly off the mat a little bit. One more breath in. Breath out. Come on down. Nice job. Awesome. Let's tent our hands on the outsides of our shoulders. We're going to do some oscillating cobra here. So then as you begin to inhale, you're going to straighten your arms, and then you're going to press your chest. Head is last to come up, and then exhale. Head is last to come down. So let's do that 2 more times. Oscillating, inhale. Head is last, like a wave. Exhale. Again, the head is last. Do that 1 more time. Awesome. All right. We're going to get a good shoulder stretch in here. So you're laying on your belly still. Take your arms out to a T, both of them, just out on either side of you. So first we're going to stretch our left shoulder. So we're going to bend our right arm out and plant your hand outside of your right shoulder like a push-up pose. And then press up onto your left hip. Keep that left arm straight out beside you. And then maybe you let your right leg come to the ground behind you. Try to keep your head relaxed on the ground. It can be intense, the shoulder stretch. So if you need to, bring your arm closer to your side to lessen the intensity. Otherwise, keep it straight out at that 90-degree angle with your body. One more breath in here. Breath out, roll back down to center. Right arm goes out to the right. Left arm bends like a push-up. Press your hand into right by your shoulder. Roll up onto the right hip. Again, relax your head down. Maybe that left leg falls behind the foot coming to the floor behind your right leg. And take another deep breath in. Breath out, come back down to center. And then slide your hands underneath of you. Press up to tabletop and make your way to your bottoms. Stretch your legs out long in front of you. So knees can be bent as much as you need to here. We're sitting in staff pose. So sit up tall. Inhale and reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over. Reaching for your toes, no worries if you can't touch them. Bend your knees more if you can't. That actually will help release your low back if you bend your knees more. Brings it out of the hamstrings. If you want more of a hamstring stretch, keep your legs straight. Awesome. Inhale up to seated. Exhale, let's slowly lower down to our backs. We're beginning to come to the end of our practice. That time went by so fast. Let's do a twist. Bringing both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. And then let your knees fall off to the right. And then if you can, keep your shoulders rooted. Maybe your left arm goes out. Maybe your gaze follows. And then bring your knees back into center. Squeezing them one more time and then dropping them off to the left. And then knees back into center. And go ahead and take your Shavasana. Stretch out long on your mat. Arms by your sides. Whatever position or pose brings you into the most stillness. Awesome job today. Your hard work is all for this moment right here. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Unclench the back of your jaw. Just going to quote a little reading from a daily meditation email I get. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. And that's by George Bernard Shaw. And James Joyce quotes, "Mistakes are the portals of discovery." A little mantra I leave you with today. Today, I will step outside my comfort zone and risk making a mistake. And when I do make a mistake, I will praise myself for having the courage to do so. And then I'll stand up again and throw myself into it all again and take a chance on making an even better mistake. Begin to wake your body up, wiggling fingers and toes. Taking some small, gentle movements. Maybe a full body stretch, reaching arms overhead, pointing toes towards the opposite end. And then plant your feet on the floor, roll to your right side for infant's pose, and ground your forehead on your mat. I just encourage you to maybe say a couple gratitudes. even if it's just you being grateful for you giving yourself this time today on your yoga mat, breathing and moving. And then press up, take a comfortable seat. And then together we'll take a big breath in through our nose. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And then bring your thumb knuckles to your forehead center. Think kind and loving thoughts. Thumb knuckles to your lips. Say kind and loving words. Thumb knuckles to your heart. Have kind and loving intentions. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me this morning. Until I see you again, namaste. Have a great day, everyone. Happy September 1st. See you next time. Awesome.